What do you think?
It's cool. Yeah,
You think the footage is cool or we're cool?
both.
What do you think is cool about the footage?
I think it's definitely moving.
Yeah?
It's definitely like inspiring in a way.
Inspiring.
As in, like it would make me change. And I also like the way you're showing it, like with the people holding it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And what about you? How does the footage make you feel?
Makes me feel bad.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah.
Are you both against animal abuse?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And this is clearly animal abuse?
Clearly, yes.
These are the standard practices that are carried out in the meat, dairy, and egg industries. This is actually claimed by the industry themselves to be the best of the best in terms of their practices. What you're watching is farms and slaughterhouses that are labeled RSPCA approved and humane certified. Do you think this is humane?
No.
No. Do you think it's possible to be against animal abuse while eating meat, dairy, or eggs?
Yes.
How so?
Like I say, it's possible to give the animals the best life you can before eating. Like, for example, if you're gonna eat chickens, you wanna let them be free range. Like when I eat eggs, I have free range eggs because I'm like 100 chickens per hectare. So yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Wow, you know a lot about this stuff for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you live out on a farm or somewhere out in the rural area?
Just live out in the suburbs.
So how do you know it's a 100 hectare ratio?
Because I think when I'm buying eggs, I think I'll be careful about what eggs I buy.
Okay.
Because I've seen stuff like this and it's
Okay.
pretty bad.
Okay, I'm going to be forthright with you. When I first started to address eating animals, I was looking at it from a health perspective, and I went down the road of trying to purchase free range. But what I was missing that whole time was the perspective of the animals. So if you think about those chickens on that free range farm, would you like to be any of those chickens? Because you have to understand the entire process. You would have your brothers stolen away from you, separated at birth. Your brothers are going to be thrown through a blender while they're 1 or 2 days old because they don't lay eggs. Okay, that's the start of the cycle for you. And then as you get older, while you're living out on a pasture, and this is only in a very minute circumstance, most farming is not like that. Okay, but even if you are talking about a small scale farm, you're going to be living out on a pasture, but you're held there against your will. You're being held captive, quite literally as a slave. Okay, you might be fed on time each day. You might even be given a name. But why are you there? You're there to be exploited. And eventually, in fact, it doesn't even take that long, you get murdered. While you're at a fraction of your lifespan, you'll get a knife slit across your throat. Because all of the chickens who lay eggs on a free-range farm, no matter how small the scale is, are murdered. They're all enslaved. They're all tormented, even if it looks like they live a good life on a pasture. And that's the truth. What I'm telling you is the objective truth about what happens from the animal's perspective. So would you like to live that life? Or would you rather not be put in that situation to begin with?
I don't know. I think we all have instincts where you want to live. We want to live as best as we can. And
And what about the animals? Do you think they have a will to live?
yes, I think they definitely want to live. And if someone said, like, it's hard to feel for the chickens, like, it's hard to ask them what they think. But I don't know, I think I'm still gonna eat meat, but I'm gonna try and do it as humane as I can.
So you've used the word humane. What does humane mean to you?
Try to give the chickens a good life.
What does the word humane mean to you?
Well, kind of like, I don't know really.
You don't know.
No.
It means to show compassion or to be benevolent. Do you think it's compassionate to enslave And I'm just giving you the standard practices that occur in all situations. There's no way you can avoid what I'm telling you. Enslaved, tormented, and murdered. How do you murder humanely? Now, you know what would make this easier for you to understand? Imagine yourself in the animal's position. How do I murder you humanely?
I know, electric shocks. I don't know.
Think about the question again. Okay? You're the victim we're talking about here. Is there a humane way for him to be murdered? I'm asking you now, just so you can help out maybe. If there isn't, is there? Why do you say that?
Because, as you said, they have the will to live, and no one wants to get killed.
Yeah, he's not consenting to being killed, is he? He's not saying, yes, I'm okay with being killed. You wouldn't say that, would you?
No.
I'm involving her now because maybe that can help you out. Hearing it from her as well as me, it's just common sense that if you were in this animal's position, you would not find this acceptable. Even if you were killed painlessly and quickly, you value your life. You don't want your life to be taken.
I think if I were to die, I think I would like to die being beaten than just dying in a bush.
At a fraction of your lifespan. And are you saying that if you're in their position, you would actually prefer that? You would prefer to live like a chicken
No, I prefer
on this planet?
human.
Yeah, exactly. You would prefer to live as a human. So what do you think is harder? The choice as a human being to be vegan, or the lack of total choice that the animals have? Because they don't even have a choice, do they?
No.
What's harder, being a human being and making the choice to be vegan, or being a chicken, a pig, a cow, a turkey, or a fish? Yeah. Yeah. It's super easy to be a human being and be vegan, isn't it? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Am I missing something here, guys?
No.
Yeah. So do you know what the number one benefit is for being vegan? Can you take a guess?
Like you're saving animals' lives.
Yeah. What do you think it is? That as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you will help like the industry to not like produce as much meat.
Yeah. Because you're no longer demanding,
Yeah.
and they are supplying demand. That's basic economics.
Yeah.
You're one less person who's demanding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way also. The number one benefit for the animals is that they're no longer tormented, abused, and harmed in any way because of you.
Yeah.
You're no longer the reason that animals suffer immensely, are tormented and murdered.
Yeah.
The benefit for you as individuals also is that when you say you're against animal abuse, you'll no longer be hypocrites.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you disagree with that? Does that sound fair to you? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what do you think you'll do about this then?
Try and eat less meat. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even stop eventually. Stop.
Okay. Now, just to wrap this up and I'll let you guys go, is what you're seeing on the screens, is animal abuse and injustice to each of you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Would you take the position that you just took with any other injustice? Let's say you're the victims in this scenario.
Yeah.
Would you find it acceptable for your oppressor to try to harm you less and to do less harming of you? Or would you want them to stop entirely?
Stop.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So please don't compromise when it comes to these non-human animals, because they suffer just like you would if you were in their position. In all the ways that matter, there's no difference in our capacity to suffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you wouldn't compromise, if you were the victim, then do the same thing for them.
Yeah.
Okay? So now what do you think you'll do?
Stop eating meat.
Yeah. And not just meat, dairy, eggs. Yeah. Do you know what veganism means?
Yeah. No, like animal produce and all.
No animal products as well, like wool. You see that the UGG store? I'm going to leave you with a card, and I appreciate you both stopping.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm also just going to quickly tell you what's on it. So if you guys aren't yet convinced in being vegan as of today, after speaking with me and seeing the truth of what happens in the meat, dairy, and egg industries and other industries, then I want you to watch that speech at the top, which is called The Best Speech You Will Ever Hear. It's free to watch on YouTube. It's by a guy named Gary Yourofsky. And if you are game enough to watch the rest of what we're showing, these are scenes taken from this documentary called Dominion. And you can watch that on YouTube as well. It's free.
This is impressive, you doing this. I respect that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. If you guys ever want to join us and get the word out, please do. Once you become vegan, you say that this is impressive, but if you don't want to necessarily do this form of activism, that's also fine. But just speak up whenever you have the opportunity. Say something about this, because their voices won't be heard until we speak up. All right, thanks for stopping, guys.
Thank you.